Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. It's Paula with another video. Today I am here to set up our paycheck budget for our March 21st paycheck. It is our second paycheck in the month of March. We are paid bi-weekly on the same Friday and we have two incomes. I will zoom in here. I have the Budget Moms Budget by Paycheck workbook. I got the printable version and it's in a big happy planner. So that's what we're working with there. This is my first, second paycheck of the month with the lower wage, after the whole wage thing. So I don't actually know what my check is going to look like. So I'm budgeting $12.07. For my husband, it should be. And that is the only income that we are starting out with. So we are starting with $27.61.44. So I don't plan for any additional income. I made some changes to my budget from what I was originally looking at. I've come in here and done some modifying. First of all, because we finished some binders and I was just trying to decide where I want to put money, what I want to focus on. I know that we have a medical bill coming up. I don't have an amount for that yet, but I'm doing some additional, pushing money into our medical, the savings challenge that we're doing for that, because my husband has had a couple different, an x-ray and an ultrasound, and they were working on a CT scan. I don't know if that got approved by insurance yet. But anyway, so I know there'll be some out-of-pocket medical costs coming our way. But anyway, so if we come down into our fixed expenses, the donations with this paycheck added up. That was one area that I actually cut. I think, anyway, $59.28 is what I am budgeting for that. Our HELOC, the minimum payment for that this month should be around $240. That's our debt. Our balance transfer is part of the principal from our HELOC. And with the second paycheck, I pay $195 towards that balance transfer card. $195, and then the $155 that I do with the first check is a total of $350? That will get us, it will have it paid off in the 21 months that the balance transfer was at 0 interest for. And we cover the second half of our internet bill. So I set $30 aside with the first paycheck and $26.61 with the second paycheck. It's actually going up in April, so that will increase a little bit. Last couple months, my cell phone bill has been $196.08, so that's what I'm going to budget there. Our life insurance, several policies, is $131 per paycheck. So technically, I consider them sinking funds, but they are for fixed expenses. So to me, they're going more towards a bill. They're not going to actually funding savings. So with the second paycheck, I put $100 towards our insurance, which covers vehicle and homeowners insurance for 6 months, which is due again in May. So we're coming up on that. Vehicle registration I pay with the second check, and I put aside $35 a month toward that for that yearly expense. $8 towards a yearly subscription for a workout program, and then we have one extra phone in our house. It's really more of a house phone than a phone for my kids, but so we save up for that annual bill, and so I'm setting aside $10 into that sinking fund. The last thing here is our school lunch bill. We don't put money on the account. We get billed every 2 weeks for what our kids consumed. So I just say lunches. The most it's ever been has been just under 130. So that's what I always start out with. That would be if each kid ate breakfast and lunch, and probably a couple. My oldest is old enough to pick a la carte items in addition to that. So that would really be if they all ate breakfast and lunch, and he ate some a la carte every day. But so it won't be that high, but that is what I try to budget for it, so that I am not, left too low on that. And I was going to say I put that up there because there isn't room for I don't have anything budgeted for gas. Paula. Well, we're going to see what happens. Okay, so fixed expenses, sorry. Okay, so our total fixed expenses then are $1,130.97. If I subtract that from the $27.61.44 that we started with, leaves me with a difference of $16.30.47, which is what I am going to come down here to our fixed expenses with. Our variable expenses, excuse me. Our variable expenses might actually be more consistent than our fixed expenses. Okay, we do $280 every 2 weeks for groceries, and then we meal plan and we grocery shop twice, or we aim for once a week, and that includes I do get questions about how do you, that's pretty low for a family of 5. That is none of our beef, which is the majority of the meat that we do not buy a lot of meat at the grocery store. Occasionally chicken for meals, some seafood type stuff, but we really mainly eat beef and pork when we have it, but we are pretty much out of pork from the pork that we had grown and taken to the locker on our own. Dine Out gets $100 per paycheck. Allowance is getting $120. I'm taking $50 for myself and $70 for my husband. I tried to decrease mine a little bit because I don't need to spend $70 on stuff every time I get paid. Beauty goes to my pedicure. I try to do that every 4 weeks. Once a month. It ends up being more like 5 or 6 weeks. But that's $50 that I budget for that. Drinks is getting $40. Donuts is getting $12. That is after church donuts for each kid, for each weekend, and also $1 for the donation basket for each kid, for each church service, whatever. Okay. Car wash is actually getting $0. Apparently I decided we didn't need car washes. I was trying to pull some things to make some other stuff work. All right, so Amazon subscription, so that's all of our household, not all of our household items, but it is all household items. So, like the spray that I put in my Swiffer, like wet mop and deodorant and toothpaste and, I'm totally blanking. Toilet paper, paper towels, Kleenex, I don't know if I said deodorant, all that kinds of stuff, which is toiletries, but I just consider it household like it's necessary for our household. So there we are. All right. And then Quick Start gas cards. Gas, I budgeted nothing. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's what I did. So here we are. That might have to we put money on our Quick Start gas cards because then we get fundraising credit through the Raise Right app, which goes back and gives us a credit off of our school lunch account. And I also put my mileage check on it, but my mileage check was really small for the month of February. So I'm not feeling super good about the fact that I don't have money on here for it, but we'll see. All right, variable expenses. Whoops, plus $1. All right, so our variable expenses then total $699.66. If I subtract that from the $1630.47 that we came into variable expenses having, we now have $930.81 left to budget. So as we move on up to our sinking funds, we have $930.81. And sinking funds, invariably my favorite part. Okay, so in our emergency fund, we were doing the Save 2025 in 2025 challenge, and I kind of have pre-picked off 2 of the spaces. So we are budgeting $75 transferred right to our emergency fund with this paycheck for that. I am budgeting $75 into our vacation sinking fund, nothing into propane. Christmas, we stuff every time we get paid. I used to do it as an automatic transfer to our high yield savings account. This year I'm doing cash for savings challenges, but it's $40. I have a new binder that is going to have savings challenges for my vehicle, home, and pets sinking fund. So I'm going to put $60 in there. $50 gets transferred right into the high yield savings account for upcoming potential future kid-related expenses. Summer daycare fund is getting $160 again. That should $160 until summer starts, and then $200 per pay period during the summer will fund our high school nanny for my kids. Doing savings challenges for medical as well, and I told you we had that bill coming up, so I'm putting $140 in there. So home is getting nothing, tattoo is getting nothing, minis are getting $200. That funds our regular envelopes, spending envelopes, cash sinking funds. Holiday binder gets $12, and we're not doing an emergency fund binder right now. I put that in there. When I finished the emergency fund binder, I was like, well, I'm going to focus a little harder on debt for just a minute because I've got my emergency fund over that $3,000. I feel good about that. I'm still funding it every time we get paid. So just going to take a minute and focus solely on debt with binders, not in general. I am very much still focusing on I'm very much still focusing on the emergency fund, and I budget that right in, so it's a little bit different. All right, so $812 is the total of our sinking fund category. So if we had subtract that from the $930.81 that we had here, that leaves us with $118.81 left to budget. We bring that down into our bottom category. And even though the buffer isn't debt, it's really more of savings, the change is going to go to the buffer. So that gets the 81 cents, and the debt binder will get $118. That makes the debt total $118.81, leaving us with a zero base budget. So that is our planned budget here for the second March paycheck coming on March 21st. So if you have questions about that, as always, I am very much open to answering any questions that you might have. Please, if you like this video, if you like my content, which ranges from digital budgeting to cash stuffing to savings challenges to budget with me's, debt updates, all that kind of stuff. If that is at all interesting to you, please subscribe and come on back and hit the like button on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.